Why do we read the stories of others? I believe that people read the stories of others for a list of reasons. Strengthening your mind is as important as strengthening your body. To entertain themselves. For example, reading could be equivalent to watching a movie or a TV show. However, reading enables a creativity and imaginary aspect. When you read a book, you have an imaginary idea of who you're looking at, such as their appearance. You can totally make that up to your liking. To gather information or morale. To educate themselves about a certain topic or certain topics. Could be from history to theater. History tends to focus on the past that has really happened before, while theater is imagination and creativity. Well, why do people make stories? To educate themselves about a certain topic, to make money. People are dang good at writing, which makes them do both of those things, to educate others and make some money. To entertain. Let's focus on the first bullet, to strengthen your mind. Alright. First, if you watched the video on our assignment, you should know this person right here. Rita Carter was a part of a TED Talk, someone that researches and shares knowledge that matters through short talks and presentations which can teach you about how to think critically about new or difficult to understand information. Her TED Talk was about why reading matters, and trust me, reading does matter. Whether you want to elevate your elocution or to enhance your reading stamina and ability. Rita Carter talks about her experiment. A basic rundown of her experiment was a group of people who didn't read for fun read 30 pages each night for a month. Each day they got their brains scanned, and the outcome was that their brains got much thicker and denser. Sandra Cisneros published a book called House on Mango Street, Homs, which was a book about this young girl's life with her family being poor. At first it started off very lightheartedly, because she had to take care of her younger sister and she didn't have any friends, so her sister wasn't a problem. Then it got more serious because it dove into serious topics. Overall, it was a great book, but we must go back to that question. Why did she write this book? She wrote it so that it would be approachable for all people, whether they were educated or not, and whether they were children or adults. This ties into one of the reasons behind why people write stories, to entertain. People love reading her books because they seek entertainment not from a set character, but to a character they make to their liking in their mind. Stories don't just have to be books. They can be interactive, which can take the form of video games. There are different types of video games, but we're going to focus on story games. Some famous story video games are Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong, Skyrim, Metal Gear Solid, Nier, Zelda, Dark Souls, Sonic, The Witcher, and so much more. Story games involve you in the story, making you take part and change what's going on. Some story games make you choose different options to make the game have different endings. There isn't one set possibility on what to choose to do, or play as, or to go in the game. For example, in Mario Odyssey, you can choose to go to little sub-areas to grab moons. Or on the Wii version of Super Mario Bros., you could take shortcuts to travel to other islands before completing the one you're on currently. It's kind of cool how they did it. They shoot you in a cannon to a different island. Most people have something in their life that makes them happy. No matter if it's a game on your phone, an ebook you read, a regular handheld book you read, or a TV show or movie you watch. Life is entertaining. I found a book by Mary Lou fascinating. It was called Warcross. The gist of it is a young girl that's into computer hacking finds herself glitched inside a live tournament game by accident. Then, the wealthy owner of the game she glitched into hires her because, dude, that's impressive, to fix his program and find out who this other hacker was that previously hacked into the game and didn't get caught. Overall, it was a very good book, which was one of the only books that I genuinely wanted to keep reading. I found it entertaining. It enabled me to at least try to read more books, which I read my next book, Slaughterhouse 5, a little more enthusiastically. According to Why Do People Read, there are 18 reasons why people read. To learn in every way possible. To engage in hearing other people's opinions. To develop more knowledge about myself and develop as a whole person. To be entertained and to laugh. To address boredom. To research and keep up to date. To participate well in civil society. To be informed. To understand others. To escape our day-to-day lives. to stimulate the imagination and to be inspired, to write and communicate better through reading others' work, to teach, to have something to talk about, to connect with like-minded people, to gain knowledge beyond our face-to-face interactions, to access shared knowledge, to engage in spiritual explorations. This supports my claim on why I believe people read the stories of others, because point 1 and point 4 are similar to my bullets. Point 13 relates to my next bullet. For my final bullet, to gather information or morale, teachers need to be able to understand the subjects they teach. As an example, a history professor needs to know the 1700s and later for them to understand modern history. The founding of America is a huge role in history for obvious reasons. World War I and World War II also have huge roles in modern history because they were horrific times that prepared our nation for everything, even preparing our nation for a possible World War III, which won't happen. Whereas another example, a geometry teacher needs to understand chords and rays and how all that stuff works. Another book I read, Slaughterhouse-Five, taught me a lesson. That lesson was that war changes people. It can give them things they don't want, such as PTSD. The main character, Billy Pilgrim, believed that aliens came down and took his city, Dresden. This is obviously not true, because the bombing of Dresden destroyed the city. Aliens didn't take it. According to Who Reads Literature, the future of the United States as a nation of readers, between 7 to 12% of the population reads books. This is just incredible. 7 to 12% of the population have the will to sit there and read the most boring thing, books. No, I'm just kidding. If you find books that suit your likings, then you would be more likely to read. According to Literacy by UNESCO, 773 million adults are illiterate. Those adults are missing out on opportunities for less enjoyments and a way to strengthen their minds. So, why do people read the stories of others? Now, I truly do enjoy reading, if I have a book that is suited to my enjoyment. Many could read books even if they aren't interested in them. For example, if they're a teacher, teachers would prefer to not read a 794-page textbook for topics that they wouldn't even discuss with their class. Reading really just goes back to 3 things: enjoyment, strengthening your mind, and morale, or lessons.